Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In this one we've got a massive update for the Acolyte, and we're also going to be talking about the Book of Boba. So without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's get straight to the big story of the day. Star Wars have cast Amandla Stenberg for the lead role of the upcoming series, The Acolyte. Recently we learned that the show has a working title called Paradox, and the codename for the lead character is Aura. Details of Stenberg's character are being kept under wraps, but an Acolyte in the Star Wars universe has typically referred to a Sith who has just begun their training under a Sith Lord. And as such, it's assumed that her character is going to be a dark side Force user, although the codename Paradox might imply some kind of struggle between light and dark. What we do know is that the series takes place during the final years of the High Republic, which means that there's a good chance we could see Darth Plagueis, and the series might connect directly to the setup for Episode 1. After all, the showrunner Leslye Headland did state explicitly that the Phantom Menace heavily influenced the series. The Acolyte begins production at the start of May 2022 and is expected to release in 2023. This is the very latest casting news we've heard, with the Ahsoka series also fleshing out its main cast in recent weeks. More cast announcements are inevitable in the next few months, as production on the 2023 shows begin in the spring of next year. Announced during Disney Investor Day last year, The Acolyte is described as a mystery thriller that will take the audience into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. And as we know, the High Republic era has been explored in depth across comics and books, but that collective series of media focuses on the glory days of the Republic and the Jedi, whereas The Acolyte is going to explore what ultimately began the downfall of both. The Acolyte is one of those shows that we simply know nothing about. Some fans are worried about the series based on the showrunner, while others are excited. Personally, I'm keeping an open mind about everything coming our way, and inevitably there will be shows that are better than others, but you never know which shows are going to surprise you. So I'm going into every series excited, and we'll just see what happens. So now my dear Mandalorians, we're going to move on and talk about the Book of Boba Fett. As you saw, we just got another teaser trailer called The Return, which I broke down yesterday, and go check out that video if you've not done so, but there is one detail that most of us missed. Credit goes to my good friend Star Force 1, who collaborated on a video with me a few months ago, and who was one of the first to catch this. In the teaser, we see two iconic characters from the deleted scenes of A New Hope. And not only this, but they're still hanging out at the iconic Tosche station after all these years. The two characters in question are Leia's Lone Zoner, also known as Fixer, and Cammy Marstrap. Now, apart from their appearances in the original Star Wars movies' deleted scenes, you might also recognize their names if you read the Last Jedi novelization. In a dream sequence that Luke Skywalker has on Arc 2, he fantasizes about what could have been if he never left Tatooine. He dreams of marrying Cammy Marstrap, who in reality married Fixer. Both these characters seem to finally be getting some screen time in the Book of Boba Fett, and are the two characters who are being harassed by the Nikto gang before Boba Fett enters to save the day. We know this is Tosche Station from the gridded background and the entrance and layout, and this confirms that the Book of Boba Fett is taking us to Anchorhead. Why these two characters are in this series is yet to be seen, but Robert Rodriguez is really giving Star Wars fans some deep cut callbacks, which is absolutely epic, and if you pardon the pun, it gives me a new hope that they put the right man in charge of this series. And if he's willing to bring these two characters back, who knows just who else might appear on Tatooine in this show. And maybe, just maybe, Luke will finally pick up those power converters. But joking aside, I'm super pumped. And speaking of Luke Skywalker, my dear friends, we're going to be talking about how Star Wars revealed how Luke continued his training after Dagobah. A lot of people have been saying that Luke Skywalker never got adequate training. The reason this has come up in the fandom in recent weeks and months is because of a big debate of who is more powerful, Ahsoka or Luke. And many people point out the fact that Ahsoka got much more training. And I very much agree with this, but I will say that Star Wars are trying to retcon a lot of Luke's abilities through the comics, and recently they've been explaining how between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, he got up to a lot more than we know. In a recent video, I spoke about how he went to Lothal looking for the Lost Temple, and it was a setup for the Mandoverse, where Ezra Bridger and Thrawn are going to come into play, and it seems like they're trying to connect Luke's story to that of Ezra. But in the same comic, they're also trying to expand upon his training trying to show how Luke Skywalker is more advanced than we assumed. In The Empire Strikes Back, Luke Skywalker abandoned his training with Yoda in hopes of rescuing Han and Leia on Cloud City, but when we see him again in Return of the Jedi, his powers had increased dramatically. This point in time for the galaxy far, far away has been left relatively unexplored in the official franchise, but the current state of Star Wars comics is expanding this and trying to give Luke Skywalker a lot more training and perspective between episodes 5 and 6. There's a lot of introspection, and we see Luke coming to the realization that he was not prepared to confront Vader, inspiring him to seek out former Jedi locations in hopes of finding anything that could help him advance his training. At the ruins of Amandla, Luke learns that the Empire is searching underground chambers for Jedi relics, which results in him finding a holocron. When Luke uses his Force abilities to open the device, he earns an unlikely reunion with the image of Master Yoda. With this reveal unfolding in the final panels of the issue, it leaves us wondering just how intensive the training is going to be, but it surely plants the seeds that, with access to Yoda's wisdom, after The Empire Strikes Back and before he returns to Yoda in Return of the Jedi, Luke was able to continue his training even if he didn't head back immediately to Dagobah. Similarly, it leaves us wondering if he's going to complete his training through the use of a holocron. But given the fact that Luke considers himself to be a fully fledged Jedi by the time of episode 6, he clearly makes some substantial progress between the two films. The next issue is described as Dangerous Lessons. Luke Skywalker has found a key piece of instruction in his journey to become a Jedi, but the lesson Luke is going to learn will not be taught by Yoda and give the young Skywalker more than he could ever have imagined. So as I say, they're fleshing out these stories between episodes 5 and 6, and it turns out that Luke got more training than what we see on screen. A lot of people assume his Dagobah training was enough in episode 5, especially given we don't know how long he spent on Dagobah, but it seems as though in the new canon there is way more to that story. They're going to expand upon this, and Luke has more trials to face. So there you have it, my dear friends, 3 very interesting stories today, and I would love to know what you think of all of them down below in the comments. What did you make of the Acolyte casting? What do you think about the 2 characters in the Book of Boba Fett? And what do you make about Luke in his journey between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and subsequently the Book of Boba Fett? Because there is a good chance he will appear there, as he did in the Mandalorian Season 2 finale. So if you guys enjoyed today's news update, you know what to do. Give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and a massive welcome if you are. And also, if you're feeling generous and you want more videos that are not found here on YouTube, while also supporting the channel and getting access to my Discord server, then click the link in the description and consider becoming a patron. But otherwise, my dear friends, I hope you all have an amazing day. I'm Star Wars Meg, and I'll see you in the next one.